Hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you tune in to my workshop. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And we're going to start the workshop, which is really fascinating. So I hope that you will enjoy and learn something about preventing the next stroke, or if you've never had one, you then you will know what to do. So, are you nervous about suffering a stroke? That's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to reveal 3 secrets to stop your next stroke. So I want to paint the scene, or paint the picture, so to speak, or set the scene. Would you have ever guessed that here it was in the prime of my life? I was 50 years young, and I was but could you imagine that I couldn't speak and I couldn't get up from the bed? I was paralyzed. That is what I was confronted with. And 2 days prior, I was normal. And it really threw me for a loop. That's what, in the nutshell, what I was. Um, how could how could this happen? In fact, when I first went into the emergency room, and they ran a test, and the doctor came and told me I had a stroke. I couldn't believe him. I assumed that he had mistaken me for another patient. But it got worse. 2 days later, I had the second stroke, and it took out the motor function on my right side of my body. It was a mess. And it took them 6 days after the first stroke hit me before they understood that I had a aneurysm of my carotid artery, and it was throwing off blood clots, and it was causing the strokes. So they finally decided to have me take blood thinners, and thank goodness I have not had any strokes since then. And I learned lots of other things. A few will teach you. I'll teach you in the workshop today. So, what happens when these people are having the strokes, or I had the strokes? Some experts, it depends on who you talk with, say up to 50% or up to 80% of the strokes never has to happen. And I'm going to reveal a little bit of the secrets of what you can do. And my mission is stroke does not, I want to make it a history. I want to make it something we read about in the history books because it doesn't happen anymore. So come and help me and take some steps, and we'll together make a history. So I have to have a disclaimer because you may think or feel that your condition involves a medical issue. This condition is intended for informational purposes. It is not intended to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your medical professional before changing your diet, exercise, routine, medical regime, lifestyle, or mental health care. An individual's experience may not represent the typical participant. Your background, education, experience, and worth ethic may differ. This presentation is used as an example and not a guarantee of success. I repeat, it's not a guarantee of success. Your results may vary. So please take to heart. I'm sharing with you my experiences, and I hope that you can use them to your best decisions. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to have an invitation to you, and I will hope that you can stay and will listen to it. So what is the intentions of this workshop? I want you to understand I put a lot of thought in my heart to put together this workshop, but I want to do three intentions. Number one, what can I do? What I want to convey to you or get you to understand. You want to ask, what can I do to reduce the risk of my next stroke or a stroke if you haven't had one? Number two, some facts about strokes. And number three secrets that you can change we'll get into those in a little bit. So who benefits from this presentation? There's 4 groups. The first is stroke survivors, and the second is their loved ones. So stroke survivors have loved ones, and they're concerned a lot of times. Maybe they're more concerned than the stroke survivor because the stroke survivor is dealing with other issues. Number 3, the caretakers of the stroke survivors. And number 4, anyone who's worried about a stroke. So it's important that if you're one of those 4 groups, awesome. If you're not, unless you want to learn a little bit more, I suggest you look for somewhere else. And I will give you a gift if you stay. My company is called Thrive Recovery Solutions, and I have a report. It's called The Physical Examination Every Stroke Patient Should Know. So if you stay for the whole presentation, I will give you information how to get the report. So first of all, I want you to take some notes. And you may ask, why should I take a pen or pencil and paper, or should I take notes on my computer or my phone or my tablet? It's pretty compelling when you look at the research. They have shown that when you do these actions and you take notes, you boost your recall of the presentation by up to 50%. And just it's kind of sobering when you talk about it. If you just listen and watch me through the presentation, and we would test you 24 hours later, you will retain 10 to 20% of the material I talk with you about. But when you take some notes, then your participate or your recall can go up to 20 to 40%, maybe 50%, just by that. And the next thing you can do is ask questions, either to me or ask them silently to yourself, because questions and notes kick in your neuroplasticity, and you make new connections with your brain that you didn't have before. It's a really fascination. So the important thing to remember, the last thing, is to participate in this seminar. And please do so. Ask questions, and if you want to, use the chat and make sure you get them answered, or at least you get them asked. So what are the stroke signs? And they're varied, and they can be so. For example, you can have a headache. In fact, you can have the worst headache you've ever had. You can have difficulty walking, or maybe you can't lift one of your hands. Your face can be asymmetrical. It can be you can droop only one side, and the important thing to notice is the signs start suddenly, and that's a key. And basically, whenever you are concerned about what's happening, call 911 in the United States, or in your other countries, call emergency personnel, because you need to seek medical attention. All right. And in the 1990s, in the United Kingdom, the emergency physicians and the ambulance drivers decided they were going to put an infogram together to help people understand about the strokes, and so they first made the acronym FAST, and since then they've enlarged, and now it is BFAST. And first, if you notice, or if you're with someone who notices, they can no longer be balanced, and that's a concern. If their vision is a problem, especially if it is on one-sided, that's important. You should seek emergency help. If your face, I mentioned, is drooping on one side, if your arms or legs on one side is weak or no longer works, if your speech, if you can't understand somebody talking to you, or you can't make yourself understood, that's a problem. And the last is the time. And when they first put this out, there turns out there is an injection they can give you. Back in the 90s, they used to think it would be within 3 hours. They should give you. Now they've learned that they can extend the window to up to 6 hours. So that's why they want to hone down when you had your stroke, because that's why they can decide on the majority of strokes. That's why they need to know if they have enough time. If you have there's two main kinds of strokes. There's one which is a loss of blood flow. That's called an ischemic stroke. That almost accounts for 80% of strokes, and 15 to 20% involved hemorrhagic or a bleed in the brain. They don't do the intravenous injection with that, but they can with the ischemic, because it's basically a blood clot breaker upper. And it dissolves your clot, and your blood flow increases or improves. And so let's talk a little bit about the facts of the stroke, about strokes. 1 out of 4 of us in our lifetime will have a stroke. Amazing. It's my mom, almost 2 years ago, almost a little over a year ago, in 2022, on Labor Day, she had a stroke. And fortunately, it was a mild one. And even she, excuse me, she was 91 years of age when it happened, but unfortunately, it was mild. So it's important to follow that. In the United States of America, approximately 800,000 people each year will have a stroke. That's approximately 0.01% of the population. So maybe it seems minor, but when the stroke involves you, it's major. Of those people, 650,000 of them are affected, and 500,000 are permanently disabled, or I don't like permanently, but at least for now they're disabled. And approximately worldwide, 110 million people are living with the effects of a stroke. That's incredible. And it's important to understand that depending on which study you look at, 1/4 to a third have another stroke. And that's amazing when you think about it. But the reality is, lifestyle choices lead to strokes. Approximately 80% of them do. And And unfortunately, when the stroke comes, instead of giving them a wake-up call to uh, look at your lifestyle choices, they don't. They continue to live the same thing that led to the first stroke. And so, since they're still there, they can always cause another stroke. It's important that you understand. And you have choices. And I want you to be able to reach me. And I have a website called thriveafterstroke.org. And you can go there and you can get some resources. And my blog is on there. I post about once a week. I've done that for about the last over 2 years ago. And you may find it helpful. I'm broadcasting from a social platform called Be Connected. It's really interesting. I love it. And you can find out by entering my link, and you will find out more. You can talk to me on the Facebook or Instagram. So there's just a few ways that I communicate. So, all right. And oh boy, approximately on St. Patrick's Day, I will have a book come out. That's very exciting. That it's part of my bigger mission. Remember, I want to know that we read about strokes in the past. We don't. It is still an ongoing issue. So I want to make it such that people that had a stroke, they have changed their lifestyle choices and they are healthier. And it's why I want to do that. All right. Is there any questions? Let me check, and I'm just going to see them. If anybody has any questions? If you're on Facebook, I imagine I'm supposed to be able to see your comments, and it may, but in case I don't understand that, I want to respond, and I may not do it until after my presentation. All right. All right. I'm going to talk about 3 secrets to reduce your odds. And I am purposely